What are you doing to separate yourself? The title of that was Time to Step Up. That was so good, y'all. And it's so on time, right? Because we have these bonuses, we have everything going on, and it's like, what am I going to do to separate myself from everybody else, right? Like put my blinders on, put focus on. Welcome if this is your first Newbie Circle, okay? Welcome. This is the space where you come, you get your mind right, you talk it out so that you're equipped to go forth and just be your best self. But we're just reflecting on that Eric Thomas Time to Step Up video, and it's just about like staying hungry. He said, remind yourself of what you told yourself. That's big because so much like we hear, what people tell us and what we're poured into, but what are we telling ourselves? Like, what did we tell ourselves we wanted, right? Or we told ourselves, well, I was congratulating Caitlin earlier. She told herself she wanted her 4-1, right? She got it. So it's like, what are you telling yourself and how are you keeping that in the front of your mind to make sure it gets done, right? How are you staying hungry? Are you hungry? Or would it be a nice snack? Like, is it just a snack or is it like, no, I'm hungry, I haven't eaten in days? Like, what is your mindset behind your goals? What's the mindset behind it? And then also, are you conditioned for the fight that you're in? Or will you get tired after 20 messages and 15 no's? Are you conditioned? Are you doing it daily? Are you doing it in a set where it's like it's a routine? Every day you're PMFing, SDPD. You're doing the things every day so that you're conditioned. So if you get a couple no's, it's not going to knock you off because you're in the routine of things, and then you're hungry. So it all goes together. So great way to open up. Go ahead, and I want everybody to get in their mind either opportunity for this week that you've had, whether it was like or opportunity or opposition. Maybe like I'm not going to give you things. I want you guys to tell me, because everybody has something that they've come against or overcame. Even if you overcame something, I want everybody to share at least one thing, and then something that you need help with. So who's gonna start us off today? I'm excited. That got me pumped up. I'm ready to like step up. Okay, I'm ready to get my 4-1 too.
Morning.
Good morning.
All right. So, okay, you said opposition and opportunity. So one thing that I overcame, honestly, which I didn't even know that I was battling. It takes the one-to-ones for you to really know what's going on in your life. Okay. So if you don't do that, do it. So one thing that I overcame this week is internalizing other people's problems. It was stopping me from working my business. I had a one-to-one with Rachel. We were talking about a lot of things, and it just kind of came to light that I allow things with my family to stop me from working my business full force because, of course we care about our families, but Rachel had to put it in perspective for me that the choices that they make aren't because of me. Like, that's not my decision. That's their decision. So I can't allow myself to internalize that. So I overcame that. Okay. Pow, period. Secondly, one thing what was the other part, Robyn?
I want to address the opportunity though. The thing that you overcame, right? You overcame having everybody's problems as your own, right? So like that's big because a lot of us have dealt with that. Drop a 1 in the chat if you've dealt with taking on other people's problems. Okay. It's heavy. It's a heavy load. It is a heavy load to take on your responsibilities and then pick up other people. But once you allow God to just release you from that responsibility that you put on for yourself, you're so much better. And I bet you were able to just work your business in a different space too, right?
Yeah, I was able to get out more messages than I was previously able to, even with setting a goal. So I definitely, it's like I had a clear mind. So
yeah, that's good. And then what do you like, what's something that you still need to overcome, or something that you're up against now? Like, what's the next thing?
So the next thing that I am up against is just really learning balance, like really learning how to balance, because I'm in grad school now, and like
That's great.
So there are a lot of things that I'm learning in grad school that I can apply to this business. So I'm just learning how to balance really my time, and how to really block it and be consistent with blocking my time, doing things as a group, because I was listening to Pastor Michael Todd's sermon, Who Are You Listening To, or who's in your ear? And he made a point and said that you're not meant to do everything alone. And in school, even in undergrad and even now in grad school, like I don't like group projects. And it's because I don't like my grade being in someone else's hands. So I'm learning that even though I kind of have only child syndrome, it's not meant for me to do everything by myself. Like I need a group, I need a community, and this business has taught me that. So it's just about the balance of transferring things to different pieces in my life that I learned here and learn other places. So I'm gonna overcome that by Tuesday. Just, I got it.
And that's so good, because it's like, we already have the tools, right? You already have the tools. You have your planner already. Look at you, so you're in grad school, and now you're just like putting the things into place and being intentional with your blocks, things that we've already talked about, right? So kudos to you for being in grad school. Okay. We can't just go over that. That is major, and celebrate that. And I want you guys, this is something we talked about in the leadership meeting, to live out loud, right? Like you get to be in grad school and earn some extra income. That's shareable. That's worth sharing. That's going to inspire somebody to say, you know what, I can do it too. I can go back to school, and support my kid and do a business on the side. Like that is major. So don't minimize that, because it's definitely worth sharing. So congratulations and good job with that. I'm excited to see you overcome it. Okay. Today. We're not going to wait till Tuesday. It's coming today. Who else got something?
I'll talk. So I just finished the book Atomic Habits, and I have been waiting my entire life to read that book. Those of you guys that haven't read it, y'all need to read it. Seriously, it's changed literally everything. So one thing that I've overcame this week is not taking no's so personally. So I'm like a blue with some yellow and red, and I just feel things very deeply. Like how I forget who said it, but Lydia, you said it, how you take on other people's problems. I definitely feel like I do that too. And no's I'm like, oh my gosh, are they gonna hate me? They said no to me, and this week I've just been telling myself it's business. It's not personal. It's not that big of a deal. And if they don't want to make a post for me, or they don't want to purchase products, it's fine. It's okay. It has nothing to do with me. So that's one thing that I've overcome. But a thing that I hope this helps you guys, because it's really helped me in every aspect, not just my business, but in Atomic Habits, they talk about how to start a good habit and how to break negative ones. And so I don't know about you guys, but I get super overwhelmed easily. I have this whole long, 20 lists, not 6 lists, but 20 lists, and I get overwhelmed, and then I don't want to do anything. And so in the Atomic Habits, how, he suggested starting a new habit is don't make the goal the action. Yes, Lydia. Don't make the goal the action, but make the goal the cue. So for instance, I've been going to the gym every day, and my goal isn't to go to the gym. My goal is just to put on my workout clothes. And so when I feel like I don't want to go to the gym, I don't feel like it, it takes less than 2 minutes to put on my workout clothes. And if I put on my workout clothes, automatically I feel going to the gym, you know? Or, you know, I kind of like talk myself into it. You know, if I put on my workout clothes, like, doesn't mean I have to go to the gym. I can just really quick put on my workout clothes and take it off. So the pressure's off. So one thing that I've been doing, like specifically for working, is I have my desk. And so my goal isn't to send out, you know, of course you want to send out a certain amount of messages, but my goal is just to sit at my desk for 5 minutes. And then of course, like it's going to turn into more than that. Cause once I sit down at my desk, I'm like, oh, okay, like this is what I'm going to do. But those of you guys that are like me and are blue and not so much green and maybe very little red, that's really helped me not feel as overwhelmed and still get a lot done. Yeah.
That's
But
good.
one thing I'm working on this week, is I think for me, the thing with Morgan the other night, that was super helpful because she's like a mass enroller and like somebody that I really like admire. And she just talks to like a ton of people. So I think my goal this week is just to talk to more people and be okay with like the no's.
Yeah. That's really good that you actually you figured it out, right? You figured out what works for you. And I heard you say you get overwhelmed easily, especially like you said with the list of being like over 20 items. I would recommend breaking the list down. You know, if you got 20 items, break it into 4 lists of 5, you know, and then working the 5, you know, in spurts, working the 4 list of 5 versus having a long list of 20. So then you're not looking at so much, so you're not overwhelmed. So you're only looking at that 5. And then when you finish that 5, then go to the next and see how that might change just the perspective of how much you have to get done so that you're not so overwhelmed. You know, another thing with the perspective shift from it being personal to business, right? Like the emotions behind a response that you feel is personal versus a response you know is just business. It shifts your perspective. Like, this is my business. Me messaging you, wanting to help you is business. It's personal because it's my business, but it's not personal if you say no to me, right? You're just saying not right now. So having that understanding that you're just saying not right now to the products of the business. So can you host a post? And if they're not willing to do a host a post, grab some of their friends, because I guarantee you, okay, you add 10 of their friends, one of them will do a host of posts, buy a product, or become a distributor. It never fails. They do it. Okay. So always take the no and switch it. Keep going. Keep going for it. Go for the no. And then I was trying to write it down as you were talking about it. What was the last thing that you said? I'm gonna have you say the last thing. Were you talking about your opportunity for this week?
Oh yeah, just like what Morgan said, like it was, I forget what it called, but the other night, like how she talked and just talking to more people.
Yes. So talking to more people is always the answer. So like if you are at a place where it's just like, listen, I'm not getting what I need, but whether it's responses, host to post, it's like Brittany said, it's a numbers game. You just need to talk to more people. So instead of 10, go to 30. Instead of 50, go to 100. Whatever you need to do, it takes what it takes, right? Like it takes what it takes. And it goes back to the video we watched earlier. It's like, are you hungry enough to talk to more people to get to what you want? Are you willing to do it? Right? Like, or is it, oh, it would be nice, you know, if I could talk to 5 more people, or if 5 more people put up a host post. No, 5 people are going to put a host post up for me. So I need to talk to 20 more, you know, like it's the mindset. It's the drive behind it. Like you have to get hungry. Good stuff, Caitlin. Who else?
I'll go. Hi guys.
Hey.
So the first one was what you have overcome. And I'm kind of still in the process of overcoming this, but it is getting there. I'm learning to not let my family's fears like affect like the goals that I've set for myself. Like I'm kind of like if someone says something negative, I kind of like I can switch my brain a lot quicker now and be like, no, like just because it didn't work out for you doesn't mean it's not gonna work out for me. Like I'm able to like usually and it kind of goes back to what we are talking about last weekend, basically, like who's in your circle. Like I had to truly like evaluate that and realizing that okay, like they really affect like how I think. So I've been really focusing on my self-development because it helps with my mental. Like I'm able to be like, okay, no, like I'm still going to get this. Like I hear you, but then I don't. Like so I'm able to kind of like switch it more. And it's made me feel better. Like I don't feel so overwhelmed or maybe I'm just crazy. Like no, like I'm able to like brush it off real quick. So that's something that I'm overcoming. I'm almost there though.
That's
Uh,
good. I'm gonna jump in really quick and talk about that really quick. A lot of people, we talk about borrowed faith and how like we can believe for, like if my grandma, brought me up in church. And so like now I'm going to church. And so it's borrowed faith because she has faith, I have faith, right? But what we don't talk about is that there's also a thing called borrowed fear, right? So like if your family is fearful, they instill the fear of debt and the fear of I don't know, illness or whatever, or just lack of belief. You can have that, right? Even if you didn't really, you didn't intentionally seek out to get it, but because that's the norm, that's who you around, that's who your circle is, that's what you'll have. So it's like you said, and like Pastor Todd was talking about, who's your circle? Who's in your circle? Hashtag your circle matters. You have to be around people with the same level of faith or aspiring to get there or past you to really get you to that point where it's like, okay, I need to elevate myself, right? I need to dream bigger. My visions need to be, my dreams need to scare me, right? Instead of sitting in the fear of what if, because that's not faith. Faith is not what if. Right. So that's good that you said that. And I just want to talk about that borrowed fear because that's something we don't address, but it's real. Go ahead. What's the next?
Robyn, can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
Jokel, who has your ear has your heart. So why do they still have your ear? I love the fact that you're doing personal development so that you can negate it, but why is that even an issue to negate? They should not be around you. They should not be, like, if you cannot believe friend, family, or foe in this season, we don't have anything to talk about because I don't have time to keep relapsing and going back and picking myself up. Like, I don't have time for that. I have to stay on the straight and narrow. So why is this even a conversation? Like, why are they not out of your circle? And so when it comes to your circle matters, like that's real. Like knowing it is one thing, but creating the right circle is another thing. That's the next step. And even if you don't have physical people, you have us virtually, you have Eric Thomas, you have Pam, you got, the corporate team, you have a whole bunch of different things, all the personal development and the spiritual pastors and leaders that we listen to. You have so many people that you can create a circle of security, a bubble of peace to where you can get those people out of your circle so that this is not even a situation. So I love the fact that you're growing your mind and you're putting yourself in a place to where you can negate it, but you shouldn't have to negate it.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard because like I'm actually like living with those people right now. So it's kind of hard to be like if I get up like real early and like I'm getting on the 6 o'clock power, like I make sure I'm there all the time. And then, it's like, well, why are you getting up so early? What is this and this and that? And I really just be having to be like, okay, I have to check this out because like it's the only way that I'm gonna get where I need to get. So that's kind of like the battle right now, but I'm getting there.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Like keep swimming. That's the only thing I could tell you. Keep going until it changes. Pray for them. Pray that God gives you the peace to endure and the strength, right? Because that's a lot to hear all the time. So keep going forward. What was the other thing that she wants to say? You done, Jokel? I thought you had something else to say. You're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear what you said. My phone, I think a text message or something going through. I couldn't hear you.
No, I thought you were saying something else.
Oh.
Are you done? Okay. All right. Thanks for sharing. Who else wanted to go?
I would love to. My name's Victoria Richardson, and it's been a while since I've been doing my business. So I'm actually coming back to rejuvenate. So, I did want to share this. The reason why I haven't been doing my business as much because I'm trying to get myself together for my mental and my emotions and everything together. So I'm actually back at my mom's house, but I did want to share this to everybody. My mom is a motivational speaker, and I didn't realize that. And so when I went to a conference last Saturday when I was off, she spoke about bagging it, which means, let me see if I can remember it. Bag it means believe it, act on it, and go get it. So when she spoke on that and started saying, I've been posting it on my page and everything, but when she spoke on that, it got me thinking like, okay, for one thing, let me stop having all these other people that I normally would help or helping people that I know for sure is not going to help me. So for those that God put in place in my life to be that, to be that inspirational, that motivational speaker, that I realized it's been my mom the whole time. So as I keep growing within me, and that's what made me want to get back to it works. And like, okay, like yesterday, I woke up this morning before I went to my other job, yesterday morning, and I started buying my products. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is the next step. All right, what's the next step? I need to get some paperwork. I need to do what I got to do to get back on this job. Like, I'm ready to get back started, period. That phrase, believe it, act on it, and go get it, it made me realize I really can be way beyond it works right now. Like, I could be where y'all at, Brittany, Robyn. I really could be where y'all at, and I've been here for about a year, almost 2. I got off track and very distracted, so now I'm back.
Well, welcome back. And you are exactly where you're supposed to be right now in this season where God has you. So don't ever compare yourself or your journey to anyone else. Like, you are exactly where he has you and where you're supposed to be. One thing that you said, and I hear it so much, that a lot of people put their business down or pause on their business to work on themselves. And that is something I want to encourage you guys not to do. Okay. This business is graceful. Okay. The spiritual development and the personal development that it's a value. It's a core value that we have. Like, you do it every day. So you do it every day while you're working your business, because let's be real. If you're with your 9 to 5, do you take off time to work on yourself? No, right? Because it's what feeds you, right? It's what feeds your house. It pays your bills and stuff like that. So I want you guys to have the same level of priority, same level of respect for your business that you do anything else, right? Because with this business, you can grow here. You can grow here. Like, I tell people all the time, I am not the same person I was when I came. When I was introduced to It Works back in 2013. I'm not the same person. I haven't made millions yet. And I say yet, okay, because it's coming. I haven't made millions yet, but I have changed dramatically, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, just on all levels. So you grow here. And so don't put your business down, because guess what? This community is like none other. This space is like none other. My 9 to 5, when I had it, never allowed me a space like this where I can come and talk amongst people with the same mindset, same willing and wants and desire to grow and to do something different. Women and men that are Christian based, like I've never been exposed to anything like that. So this is something you want to stay connected to. You want to stay plugged into, because there's something that's going to be said at some point that's going to hit you and say, you know what, I can do that too. Or you know what, this is what I needed today. So always keep coming, even when you don't feel like you're all the way together, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be all the way together. Well, we're not, okay, because we're not perfect. It's not. So always keep coming to the room whenever there's a space, because something can be said. We're always here to help you. We're always here to pour in. We're here for that community. You're not meant to be alone. So definitely stay connected. Stay connected, y'all. Be encouraged to not give up. Because honestly, you can't afford to take breaks. You can't. And I'm not talking about financially. Somebody somewhere is tied to your success. Somebody somewhere is tied to you fulfilling your dreams and the promises of God, and they need to see that you made it out. So you taking breaks is delaying. It's a delay. So think of it as bigger than you. Change your perspective. It's bigger than you. So keep going through. Write down your story. Share it when you're ready, because it's for somebody else. I guarantee you, it's for somebody else. Thanks for sharing, Satoria. Who else got something?
Good morning. So one thing I overcame this week is to keep going no matter what. I didn't make it to Monday meetup. Over the weekend, I had got sick or something. So it was like real bad. My throat was hurting and stuff. So I learned to keep pushing no matter what. I didn't let that keep holding me back throughout the week. It was like each day I tried to do something more than what I did the day before, as far as sending messages or doing my personal and spiritual development, journaling, listening to somebody inspirational or something like that. So I learned to keep going, and I have been each day pushing my messages to 200 and actually hitting that goal. So knowing that I can do that, and seeing what my life is like for me, because it may look different for somebody else, but for me, being a single parent of 2, learning my pillars and different things like that. So I'm pushing and bringing my momentum back up. And even though, like, what's her name, Shatera just said about falling off a bit, I did, and I realized, like Robyn said, to stay connected. And now I am reaching out to my upline more and actually staying connected with her and making sure that I'm in the room. I miss you guys too.
That's so good. Welcome back. Okay, welcome back too. You guys have to understand that your story is your own. Your story is your own. So like you were talking about, just understanding that it looks different for you, like you're a single mom with 2 kids. I'm single with no kids. So my story is going to look different than yours, but it doesn't mean mine's better, right? Doesn't mean yours better. It just means it's yours. So you have to be able to be, okay, we're living out loud. Like you get to earn some extra income with 2 kids. Somebody needs to see that, right? Somebody needs to know that it's possible, right? Like you out here getting it. Like you got 2 kids, but you're making money on social media, on your phone. Like share it, and that we also talked about that self-applied pressure. that we put on ourselves, like, oh, I fell off and now I got to come back. It's okay. Come back. Every day can be day one, right? Every day can be day one. So just do it. I've had people say, well, I don't know how to start. Just start. Just put a post up. Just send a message, just do it. No one's sitting there watching and being like, oh, well, Sierra hasn't posted in 15 days. And she posted today. It's not that deep. Like, we have to get over that. Just do it. So good job. Good job for jumping back in there and pushing yourself. You hungry. That's the hunger we were talking about.
And then when I did that, like at the beginning of the month, it was like before the end of the month when conference was about, I made sure that I was free them days. Cause even before then, I still made sure that I was free them 2 days. And that actually helped me. So going into October, it was like, I'm gonna do this. I know that I can do it. So like I sold my first sample to be able to pay for my website so I could get people to even get a customer. And then I got a loyal customer. She bought a sample and then she became a loyal. So it was like the things were actually starting to fall into place. So I was like, well, I know I could do this. Then I started getting more host to post up. At first it was like 1, and then the more messages I started sending, and like the more people that you talk to, then that started helping. Also, I was watching Grace Like a Flood, and I'm still actually watching that. Learning to have grace with myself. Shanice always tells me that. The team actually also tells that. But what I was gonna say on Monday meetup, because it was this thing in my head. This song that rings in my head is I think Greater Is Coming by Jacqueline Carr, and it says that an olive has to go through these 3 stages for its oil to grow. It has to go through the shaking, the beating, and the pressing for the oil to flow. So that I know that I feel like I've been through the shaking before, and now I'm at the beating part. So now I have to push through this part. So when I get to the pressing, and I know that I'm gonna be so much greater. That just kept ringing in my head. I believe that I had to say that because no matter what you go through, no matter what happens or anything, as long as we push through those things, our storms or whatever that happens, stay connected to the squad, talk to people, don't shut down, because I did do that too. Don't shut down, and then just be vulnerable and be okay with being vulnerable.
That's good. That's really good. Sorry, I was reading the comments. Who else has something?
Okay, I'm gonna say something real quick. I'm gonna mute, I promise. But like just listening to Sierra, it clicked something in my mind. But I think a lot of the times when I know, like me personally, when I've had those moments where I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna sit back for a little bit, or I'm just fall on by the wayside or whatever. Sometimes those limiting beliefs will be from comparison of like, thinking like, oh, okay, well, somebody else's business is like this. I feel like mine should be like this, or, oh, they've been in the same amount of time. How come I'm not looking like that? And I was watching The Man's, y'all. Okay, so that show was my jam, but I was watching it, and there was an episode where they started going on tour, and David Jr. has a different form of gospel music that he plays, like, Lecrae, Flame, like gospel rap. And the church that they were in, a lot of the seasoned saints weren't easily receptive to that. And when I saw that episode, I immediately thought about this business. Like, everybody's not going to be receptive to how your business is. That just like, and y'all talk about all the time, our people are our people. So it clicked, and it just reminded me, like, don't allow your limiting beliefs to be because someone else's business looks a certain way. Like, the beat of your business is the beat of your business. And there are people designated for that are not necessarily designated for like Caitlin's beat of business or Jokel's beat of business. It's for whoever it's meant for. And I know that helped me a lot, because a lot of times where I feel like I would be failing in my business, it would be because I would be looking at somebody else like to copy instead of to be an influence to me. So I don't know who needs that, but that just really, boom.
That's so good. And I talked about that on one of my my posts. It's like, you compare yourself to a highlight reel. So you're sending yourself off, because think about it. People, we included, me, we don't put everything on social media. We put the highlights. So you're literally comparing yourself to a highlight reel. That's unfair. Stop it. Like, don't do that at all. The comparison kills. Like it kills so much. Your joy, it can kill your dreams if you let it, your motivation, all of that. So don't do it. Okay. The easy way is to just don't do it. Focus on what you're doing, right? Put the blinders on, focus on what you're doing. Set your goals. First of all, set your goals. What do you want and why? And then go forth in knowing that. Period. As Lydia, do it, Lydia. Like, seriously though, I'm laughing, but it's serious. Like, you cannot compare yourself. If I could tell you anything, comparison kills. Like, do you. This is a space where you're allowed to do you. This business allows you to be 100% yourself, like authentically yourself. Like, you are more than enough to be successful in your business because it's yours. So be great, okay? And don't look at anybody else. I mean, if you do, it's inspiring, but you don't have to be like them. You could be yourself. Who else?
That's so good, Robyn. Yeah, you just be yourself, bloopers and all. So I'm myself, bloopers and all. So we gonna make mistakes along the way, but I just been listening. And I've been where every one of y'all been, so I know what you're talking about. So I was thinking about my family. They don't quite understand what I'm doing. Well, why are you doing that? You on that? Every time I call, you always working. You always work. I said, I'm not always working. I said, I be doing other stuff too. I said, you don't call when I'm doing other stuff. You just call when I'm working. I said, you always on Zoom. You always. I said, y'all ain't gonna be saying that when I get this money. Y'all gonna be going like, what you doing? What you do? What you do? I said, but it's okay. I said, y'all gonna see in a minute. I said, I'm gonna keep moving, keep pushing. Y'all think it's a joke. I said, but just wait. And so they couldn't do nothing but laugh. My son did tell me though, when you make it big, I'm gonna join the business too. I said, oh, okay then, I bet. I told him to get ready. But yeah, we just have to continue to do the things. Keep swimming. I've been swimming for a year, so I know about to swim. I'm a good swimmer now, so I just keep it moving. Some days are better than other days. Some people will say yes. Some people say no. I don't worry about it no more. I used to get in my feelings about it. I don't even worry about it. I just keep pushing and keep moving. Okay, I'll catch you later. Bye. Or you gone, you out. Then sometimes I give them a second chance to redeem themselves. Sometimes they come through. Some people, I just say, Lord, what should I do? Should I delete them or should I keep them? And then sometimes he'll tell me just to keep them there for a minute. And so I keep them there. I come back to them, and after a while they'll say, oh, I put up a post. And I was going like, okay. So you just got to keep moving. And I just get joy out of listening to all y'all. And I just love this place. I just love being here with you guys.
Oh, we just love you being here. Okay. We love you being here. And something you said, it was so profound. Okay. And we probably didn't even catch it, but the people that put the host supposed to, you went back to them, didn't you? So where is the fortune? In the follow-up. Okay. Yes. So when you're sending messages, so when you're reaching out to people and they're telling you no, it's okay. Like she said, let them sit for a little bit and then go back to them, because they might be in a different season and maybe they were having a bad day. Anybody had a bad day before? Like maybe they were having a bad day and they didn't want to put up anything at the time. So this next time when you go back to them, they're willing. Hey, they even saw a story and they want some product. So, but you'll never know until you go back. until you follow up with them. So yeah, extend the same grace to them that you want extended to you, right? Real good. Who else we haven't heard from? Oh, hey y'all. Come on in.
Well, while we wait on somebody else, I'm gonna say that yeah, the fortune is in the follow, because you know a lot of my loyal customers that I have got here at the last couple of months have been people who I talked to when I first started, who didn't, oh no, and they've been following me, and I can see their little heads, and I can see them, they follow me and stuff. I see them clicking on my stuff, and I just let them sit there, and after a while they come back. Oh, what's that product you got? Tell me about it. I think I want to order. Can I order? I said, sure, you can order. I'd be glad to help you. So yeah, people are watching you even when you don't realize they're watching you. And I've learned that they are sitting back looking at you. One little girl that I talked to the other day about joining the business, and she said she's still joining. I tried to get her to sell samples. She didn't want to sell samples. She gonna pay her money, but I promise I'm coming. I said, well, okay, baby. But she's been watching me. She said, I've been watching you. I've been watching your videos. So people watching you even when you don't know they watching you.
That's so good. And I think even Lydia put in the chat, like keep doing the things. Like keep doing the things. Like me and Brittany was talking. I went from like over 200 views on my lives to like 16, but I'm still doing them just like it's 200 people watching, because it could be, right? So you still have to keep doing the things, because there are people that are following you that are not your friends. And there's people that are your friends that are not following you. Can we be honest? So you still have to show up, post, message, and follow up. You still have to do the things to make your business successful. You still have to do it, right? You have to stay hungry. Who else? We got a couple people we haven't heard from. Hello, welcome. You might have came in late.
I actually have something. Sorry, I'm dealing with my kid right now, so if y'all hear a bunch of noise, excuse me. So I'll try to keep it brief. I have overcame quite a few things this week. One being me accepting that I don't fit in the same category as most of the people in this business, because I work full time, and I have kids and I'm married. So a lot of things that other people can do because they have that freedom of time, I can't do. So my schedule looks different. So before I was trying to fit into the cookie cutter way of how everybody else was doing it, which was overwhelming, because I don't have as much time and throughout my day to do as much as I want to. And I was feeling guilty because I'm like, oh my God, it's like 7:00 and I ain't sent not a single message. Like, and it was at the beginning, it was getting to me. And so I had to come to the realization that it's okay. It's 7:00. It's not, the day is not over. I still have time to send my messages. It just don't look like what everybody else's look like. I can't send them at 5:00 in the morning or 9:00 or whatever other times everybody else is doing their stuff. So that was one thing that I had to be okay with. And so the second thing that I had to be okay with is knowing that I want to be at a place that I want to be at and I'm not there. Um, and even though I'm still doing the things, I'm not there yet. So that part was also getting to me. And so I had to sit down and have a real reflection of my life, about where I came from and where I am now, and be grateful for where I am right now. And also knowing that just because I don't have it right now doesn't mean that I won't get it. And so those were some of the things that I had to overcome.
That's good. Thank you for sharing that. The first thing that you were talking about is being full time, and not having this type of schedule that most people have. When honestly, a lot of people are full time workers, and this business is a part time thing. Us full timers are, like Brittany said in the comments, we're the exception. Not a lot of people do this business full time. Even when I was full time working. And like you said, you don't have all day, right? Like you got to get up. I had to be at work at 6. Then I didn't get off sometimes until after 6, and so I had to work the business on my lunch or during my breaks or when I got off, and like you said, understanding that your schedule looks different is major. You have to understand your schedule looks different. But also something I tell my business partners, you work your business. Your business does not work you. You have the ability to set your schedule and tell your time where to go. So like you said, like when you get off, if you want an hour to decompress at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, if you want to work your business, you have that luxury. You can work your business for an hour, right? You could work your business for 2 hours. You can work your business on your 15-minute break. So it's just plugging in and putting those times intentionally into your business. You will get there. And another thing you were talking about, not being where you want, and really coming to terms with that. Something that I'll say, and I talked to somebody recently about this because I have a lot of experience in the retail space, corporate and just corporate HR, retail, like Targets and Myers and stuff like that. And if we think about it, how long it takes for us to get a promotion in those spaces versus what we're working for now. Like if it takes you 2 months to go executive or 2 months to go Ruby or whatever it is, how long would it take for you to get a promotion at your job? If we put that into perspective, right? 9 times out of 10, it's not that easy. I've posted for positions before. And when you post for a position, there's multiple people that go up for it. It's only one position. Let's say that it's only one position. Multiple people go up for it. And then those that go up for it, it's only one person that can get it. And then that raise is 9 times out of 10, maybe 3% of what they're already getting now, like a 3% raise. So when we think about where we are now and what the possibility is for us to get a promotion in this business, it's worth working through it. It's worth the time put in, right? Because even if you think about annual raises, right? We have the ability to get an increase every month versus waiting an entire year to have a review over our whole department to get 3%. So it's changing the perspective that you can make your increase, and especially with the promotional bonuses we have right now, you can make it weekly. So just shifting that perspective is going to be major for you. And it sounds like you've already started it. So that's what's up. But yeah, keep swimming. Keep swimming. I think we got time for a couple more. Got a couple people that haven't talked yet.
I'll go, Robyn.
Hey, girl.
So, kind of to piggyback on what she was saying, I was in the same situation. Well, I guess kind of currently overcoming the same situation, because I work full time. I have 4 kids, 3 of which are my bonus children, and we don't get to see them on a regular basis, and dealing with that struggle. Then I have a busy 9-year-old. I'm a nurse practitioner, so I see patients all day. But the thing that Rachel kept telling me when I started was that, just give yourself grace, and understanding what grace was for me personally. Like, you say grace, but grace is different things for different people. And I cast this vision for myself in this business and what it was going to do for me and my family and the people that I could reach. And I'm not there yet. But it's something that Brittany said was like, she stayed in the room. She stayed close to the fire. Even when, you know, she was on in a physical vicinity of Rachel, she would run because she knew Rachel was going to come at her like, okay, what you doing? We supposed to be doing this, that, and the third. That's how I feel sometimes. It's because I know I've told Rachel what I wanted, and I'm like, oh, this one-to-one, she gonna get me. So, but I still show up. And so that was my saving grace, for another, and for lack of a better term, because I knew if I came here, I knew that I would be rejuvenated. I knew that if I keep doing the things, if I do my spiritual and personal development, that it's going to refill me. That's something I talk about on my page all the time, is I have to make sure that I'm filled up, because I can't tell my patients that you can't pour from an empty cup and then I'm empty. So I just keep in the back of my mind, you know, keep swimming. And then the other thing, so I got smacked in the face because I had my husband listening to the last Pastor Todd sermon, and I was like, oh yeah, he really needs to hear this. And then he was listening and he was like, oh, who that sound like? And I was like, you. And he was like, oh no, you're the one who likes to do everything by yourself. You the one who like to make stuff shake. You the one who, well, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this. And I was just sat there and I was like, oh, do I? So that's one of the things that I'm overcoming this week is, you know, using all of my resources. We say that in nursing all the time. Use your resources. You don't have to do it by yourself. So, yep, that's what I'm working on.
That's really good. Something that stood out when you were talking about accountability, right? And you were talking about Brittany being in a room and coming and being present, but then you were also talking about, oh, you didn't want to talk to Rachel because you knew what you told her. Something that I learned over the years with my personal development, spiritual development, is that yes, accountability to somebody is very important. Like, accountability partners are amazing, but it wasn't until I was accountable to myself that everything changed. Like, it feels, now I feel worse letting myself down. Like, it's personal, you know, and it's like you have to have that accountability, because I have it with Rachel and Brittany, and I have that, but I also have a sense of accountability to myself, because I know what I told myself. Like, I know what goals I have set forth for myself. And at this point, if I don't do that, I'm letting myself down. And that hurts worse than me letting this person down, if that makes sense. So yeah, think of it like that. Like, I can't afford to let myself down. This is, you were talking about kids, you have children, I'm pretty sure your goals align with your kids. You don't want to let them down. Like, your progression, your success, your resilience, your relentlessness, your ability to stay consistent affects them. So if you don't do that, you're letting not only yourself down, but then your kids and everybody connected to you. So think of it in that way too, but that's good. It's really good. Got time for one more person.
I'm gonna say something, Robyn. So I feel like I need to say something about everybody comparing their schedule or what it looks like to work this business to everybody else or people that they feel like are successful. So one of the things that I had to overcome was the fact that my business doesn't have to look like the other person's or a successful person in order for it to be successful. So, like, say for instance, Rachel is our ambassador diamond. My business don't have to look like Rachel's in order for me to be successful, because my business is my business and my life doesn't look like Rachel. I don't have kids. I don't have a husband. So I don't have to get up at the crack of dawn before my household because I don't have a household. So being okay with my business looking the way that my business is, and then that allows you to have fun with working it. If you so busy trying to work it like somebody else, then it becomes a job. It's not like we didn't start, like the blessing of this business is we get to work it in our lives. We get to work it around our schedules. We have the flexibility. The only thing you have to worry about doing is being brave, being patient, being consistent. The only thing you have to worry about doing is doing your SDPD, PMF. When you do it, that goes along with your life. The thing is, you just have to do the things. There's not a specific time that you have to do the things, but you have to do the things. And so I want to release you guys from that, because that was something that I struggled with. Like thinking that my business had to look a certain way, or I had to do it exactly like the person that I was inspired by. That's baloney. Let it go.
That's so good. That is so good. We're gonna end on that, y'all. I just want you guys to just be encouraged to work your business as yourself. You know, let your story lead your business, right? Let you be the person. You are you. I am her, right? That I am her. Like I am her, and it's okay. And you're enough. You're enough. You're capable. You're everything that you need. You just have to keep going. You have to be consistent. Like she said, you have to be consistent. You have to be brave. You have to be patient. I'm excited for you guys to shout out your 4-in-1. We didn't talk about that today, but all the things that we did talk about today are going to help you get there and help you work your business at another level, to where you can just go. Right? Go and be great. So I'm going to pray us out. I'm sorry, I thought I saw someone say, okay, cool. All right. So Father God, we just come to you right now, giving you glory, giving you honor, and giving you praise, God, because you're such a great God. God, we just lift your name up, God. We adore you. We thank you for just being mindful of us today, God. God, I pray right now that you just give an extra special blessing to those that just took time out of their busy schedules to just come and just to release, God, to release and to talk about the things that were on their heart and the things that they've overcome and things that they're overcoming. God, we just ask right now for strength and discipline and obedience and all the things that they need, God. Equip them right now with all the tools that they need to go forth with overcoming these things that they've mentioned today, even the things that they didn't want to mention, God, that you know that are pressing on their hearts, God. Give them the courage and the audacity to tackle it and to get over it and to believe that you are a great God and that you will do all things and that you are capable of doing all things, only if they believe, God, and only if they go forth in the faith and act and do the work that's necessary for the dreams to be fulfilled. So God, we just thank you for everything that you're doing and everything that you've already done. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. You guys have an amazing Saturday.